Yes. Hello, everybody. This is eToro coming at you live on YouTube. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So there's a lot going on in the market at the moment. So we wanted to discuss it. We've got our international offices online. Gennady in Russia, Matthew in the UK, and we have Dennis Martin in the hub.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I seem to be hearing my voice. Maybe we can fix that somehow. I think that should do it. Cool. Actually, there's not as much delay on this live feed as I anticipated. As you hope. Cool. So we wanted to start off with what's happening in Italy at the moment. Probably there's a lot of confusion. I think actually the confusion is what's dropped the market more than anything else. Because I saw all day the American players on Twitter yesterday going, "How do you say this in Italian?" Like, they don't understand what's happening in Italian parliament. Bonds going nuts like this, and then they start to react to that. To clear the air in about 2 minutes flat, I'm going to tell you exactly what's happening there. So in March, there was an election. The election results were staggeringly boring. We actually had a live hangout just like this before the election. Everybody was going, "Oh, you remember you were on that one?" Like everybody's like, "There's nothing going to happen here. Nothing is going to happen to markets." So, as expected, the results were the three main parties came out roughly with 30% of the vote each, and it ended up in a hung parliament. So, about 2 weeks ago, miraculously, Silvio Berlusconi, of all people, remember Berlusconi, he backed out and let the other two parties start building a coalition. And they've been talking. They actually started getting pretty serious. But of course, the two parties, each one wanted to put their prime minister forward, or their party leader as a prime minister, and they were in kind of a showdown. About a week ago, they said, "Okay, the brilliant idea. Let's get somebody else, independent, from neither party, to be the prime minister." His name is Conte, and then it was on the president's table. So in Italy, the president is the one who makes the decision who's going to be the prime minister. He has to approve, and then he has to approve the cabinet as well. So finally, after a lot of talk, he approved the prime minister, and then the prime minister in waiting was sitting down with the president, and they were talking about who's going to be the cabinet, and the prime minister put forward somebody as a finance minister who is an anti-EU politician, somebody who's spoken before about leaving the euro, leaving Europe, and everything like that. And the president said, "Look, we cannot have this guy in parliament. This would look really, really bad, especially for our German friends. We cannot do this." The prime minister said, "Look, if you're not going to go with my people, I'm out of here." And basically, the prime minister just on this little scuffle, he just quit and said, "I'm not doing this anymore."
Not against Italians, but it's quitting.
I don't know. Maybe European. I have no idea. Italian.
Oh, no.
Right. Unfortunately, Gabriel, our Italian analyst, couldn't make it today. That's it. Right. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see how that turns out. So cool. So hello everybody on YouTube. We're live. Go ahead and leave your questions in the comments section. Matthew, are you able to keep your eyes on the comments? Just let us know if people are talking over there.
I'll take a look.
Anything interesting there? Matthew?
I'm here. I'll keep an eye out. I'm just firing it up now. I hadn't actually had it open yet, so 1 second. At the moment, we've a few.
No, he's
Nothing. Just
they're losing Europe because of all
there's a few comments about the sound, so maybe just trying to. The sound's not great, but just maybe don't talk over each other. Talk, talk one at a time, and then that'll maybe help things a little bit.
Sounds good.
First question: when XRP Moon by Donatus? But that's pretty standard. I think we'll maybe tackle that later on.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
The very quick was the Italian.
Yes, the Italian election effect on the XRP. We can do an analysis on that later on. Cool. So that's basically what's happened in Italy. What doesn't make sense in my mind is because the coalition between the five-star party and the right-wing is supposed to be a spending coalition. They're going to be decreasing taxes. They're going to be, or they're set to be doing all of these social programs, increased spending, and everything like that at a time when Italy is already in over their head. So when it blew up, I didn't understand why the bonds market moved like that. But what I can say is that it does seem that this whole thing is kind of contained, right? And just looking at the chart of the euro against the pound here, it's pretty stable, right? So what tells me is that even though the euro was against the dollar yesterday, right? We saw this movement. Right? There's the euro sinking against the US dollar. But the euro GBP is, I don't know, pretty stable. So this seems to be like kind of a dollar movement, rather more than anything else, I believe.
The euro and the pound, they're both very weak. So yeah, it's just there's nothing to really work off there. Again, it's I'm sure we'll get into it later with the pound, but it's, really what comes down to the policy from the central banks that's driving a lot of these, and the probability of rate hikes seem to still be quite strong.
Yeah, could be.
Now the DAX basically was already ready for correction. This just pushed it for the second part of it. If you look at the DAX, usually if it goes down, if it dips down, it actually does normally second shortly after anyway, right? So, but today we already see a big recovery in the market. Some people will say, yeah, it will get to 1100 again, but I don't think that will actually happen. The only way how that would be effective now, yes, would be a power trade war with Germany, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah, by the way, that's happening tomorrow.
We're talking about Italy, not Germany, right? So,
right.
I think it's great for volatility for day traders. In the morning, see the trend and just have some fun, right? So that's basically what this is about. Like the news cycle that I find is already off the news again. I mean, they're still talking about the markets already we adjusted for that yesterday with 200 points.
Yeah.
That's the value of the Italian going really good.
Yeah, so you're saying it's priced in already. I think so too. I mean, the whole blowout with Greece, right, in 2012, I think that most international institutions are lowering their exposure to Italian, Greek, and Spanish bonds. So just because there was a blowout, so yeah, it's cool to look out on the screen and there's a bunch of amazing charts watching the 10 spread, spiking to the moon. But other than that, I mean, this does seem to be kind of an Italian problem. What was interesting I found also was that at the same time as we had the Italian problem, it seemed there was some kind of also.
What's the deal with Spain? We have the same problem in Germany by the way as well.
the reason was it was massive. It was the first time in the history of the democracy in the state, government was actually action. So one of them was stability and the other political party, the government has done what it was. So they propose which is most
Just to say, guys, I think people are really having problems with the sound. They can't hear it, and it is hard to hear.
so should we go ahead? So yeah. So we have the left part no confidence for the government. The actual leader to take place in the government for the
So when is it all happening?
tomorrow they will be debating
Okay.
with the full day on Friday they will be voting.
Okay, so tomorrow's the debate,
Yeah.
vote is on Friday. What time?
Morning.
Okay, 2 p.m. Spanish time.
So the will be to see who is agreeing to let the government is doing the vote.
Okay, so what's the possibility of confidence area? Likely, unlikely.
It's very likely and need to increase to be in the if you want to the government, the support of party independent in Basque country. So it may be like not stable government kind of a party government. Consider go back to the municipality in March.
Okay.
So we have to have this kind of party government. Very focusing.
Can you guys hear us okay on YouTube?
Yeah, guys, no one can hear anything. No one can hear a word.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not
boy.
working.
Okay, so what Martha is saying that tomorrow we're going to have a debate in the Spanish Parliament. Friday we're going to have a vote of the It seems at this point very likely that the vote will carry, in which case the government will go to the opposition, who basically will have a chance to form a coalition. So
They have to form a
from what you're saying, the coalition is going to be pretty simple for him to form it, but rather than if he's going to be able to form a coalition, the question is who's going to pick to join him? Is like he's got people lining up on the field and he just gets to choose whoever he wants to make his government. That's right. What's the going rate to join the Spanish Parliament these days?
Not an advice.
This is not investment advice. I don't think the regular disclaimers cover this.
This is not a legal accusation. So, now I was recently at an event of House of, and saw some interesting statistics of the trust in government in Europe going down across the world, right? And I think that this is more common now, and that's why the markets react less to those events. I mean, of course, there's reactions, but for a major or for an index to lose after something like that 5%, it's like that's not as dramatic as I would think, or even like ramifications are not as big as they would have been.
So what are you saying?
I'm saying that the market is already pricing that in, it's already uncoupling from events that are political. Yes, they always have effects, but in a couple of years we already see that it's less and less dramatic. Like now, Trump is tweeting something. Yes, the market yes, but if Obama would have tweeted that same thing ago,
Yeah,
the market would have gone bananas.
right.
Right? now we still see like a dip, like he reacts to South Korea and go, yeah, okay, so 1% more extra motion. Like the thing that is moving now is the ripple, right? Like, and not the euro dollar as much.
So you're saying that basically the market's becoming callous
Yeah.
and ignoring these type of
This
political.
is not you would not say that something happened there now. Like, okay, that happened.
Right. Well, you can see on the chart, right? Here's today, right? And then there was, but that's like really.
Yeah, but a month ago was even bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, and that has nothing to do. So it's, I think it's getting used to it and giving the daily volatility of the market.
Right. Right. Okay.
There's an agreement going.
Yeah.
I think now because market have no problem. There's a lot of things happening. Especially once it goes that they're paying for duty, so they
Correct.
we start speaking about because in last meeting with North Korea, every time was if it was cancelled, I would expect in market %.
Yes.
So I think Donald Trump.
No, I say it's very important, but the volatility it generates is less than a similar trade would have done 5 years ago.
1.5% for index. 1.5%.
So let's
Should make it
look at this. Let's look at the big movement. What happened?
Guys, if I'm honest, I don't know if anyone's picking any of this up.
Okay. So we're gonna have to reconvene. Have a better sound. I apologize for that. In the meantime, I don't think we need to shut down though. Go ahead. I mean, you got that's on over there. So, feel free. Has somebody there asking about the UK market? Matthew, like to take it?
I mean, I can share some thoughts on it anyway. I think last time we spoke, it's the same ongoing saga. There's no clear direction on Brexit whatsoever. Since then, I think Alison Rudd, that whole fiasco was just kicking off. She has since left. So that's a key ally for Theresa May, but it's just ongoing woes for Theresa May. They did secure a transition deal, but her own cabinet has split. The Tories are at odds within their own party. So there's no real clear direction on that. But in terms of its effect on the markets, I think it's not something probably that traders are really paying much attention to. I think they're more interested in the economy and the potential rate hikes. So we have had Mark Carney come out and say in recent times that while the data from Q1 wasn't terrible, it doesn't warrant any there's no real basis there to have rate hikes. So they're certainly talking about a more gentle rate hike approach. Certainly we'll see a few rate hikes over a longer period of time. So I think that's been reflected in the pound. We can see against the, it was coincided. The dollar became strong once the pound became weak, and there's been a great trade there. We're down at around the 133 level. So we were discussing that in the last call, and that's been the case. The dollar has continued to strengthen. The pound is very weak, as I mentioned before, against the euro. There's no direction there because both currencies are weak. We've seen the euro weaken against the dollar as well. Yen has been a little bit GBP yen, currency favorite or currency pair favorite of mine. It has been a bit of a trade there too. So I think it has all been just pound weakness, and the reason is there's the probability of a rate hike has just decreased over time, and that trade, that pound strength came from consensus that they were going to start hiking rates, but that hasn't been the case, and the pound's been sold off quite aggressively. So that's it really. We don't have much. It's still ongoing. We've got the transition deal with Brexit, but still no real clear direction on Brexit as we approach the 2-year anniversary.
Oh boy! So at this point, do we meet the deadline for Brexit? exit or not? I mean, the deadline's going to happen, right? So
Say that again.
I said, what happens when we get to the deadline? Right now it's March 19th.
Well, they've got until December 2020 now. So as I said, they've kicked the can down the road. They're going to get 75% of the benefits until that time. So it just gives them more breathing room, really, to try and secure a deal. You know, Theresa May she did propose staying in the European Economic Area because the Northern Ireland issue continues to be a bit of a minefield for them. That was rejected by the House of Lords. So it's still. There's still there's no end in sight really to this, but they have secured a longer transition time. So let's see what they can come up with.
On the British pound against the yen, long or short?
Against the yen?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be the long pound. I wouldn't want to be long pound against anything right now. Certainly not until there's. I would think what would turn the pound around is some sort of decision from the central bank to rate, or getting a bit more talking about securing a few more rate rises in a shorter period of time. Maybe Q2 data, good Q2 data might help, but yeah, I wouldn't want to be long pound against anything right now.
Oh boy. So we've had the BLE event already. Just watching out for deterioration at this point. Gennady, man, you've got the best sound here, but you've remained silent throughout the entire meeting.
I'm currently trying to understand what guys are talking about. I mean, like, sounded really awful, but still. I find it really interesting, this old news from Italia, and actually I find it interesting what goes with the bonds, apart of Italy, actually. So we saw German bonds went higher yesterday, yeah, on the meantime. So we can see actually the flow from Italy to Germany, and still I'm wondering why Portugal and Spain are kind of stable if we have a look at the 10-year treasuries. In the meantime, I'm really interested what's happening with the oil. What do you think?
Oil.
Come on in.
Okay.
Switch.
Just spoken oil.
You got it. And we're praying that everybody on YouTube can follow and hear us.
I will start talking about Italy. What was it year ago from now? We have a trend line from a year ago from June last year until now. You can see the trend line has been upward trend.
Great. This is German. Right.
The line.
Okay. Fine. Ray. One side of it. This is what you're talking about.
So as we can see, the trend line has not been. The main thing about oil what's happening now is all the rumors happening. So sanctions on Iran, which was a market to reach 4 years compared to 2014, 7.5. Before it rebounded back because of Saudi Arabia and Russia just went out and said we will just produce more just to cover the outshortage of oil in the market. 6.22, very crucial level. It used to be a resistance, now it's become a support line. You can see the market for the last 3 days tried to break through that, but we didn't close below that level. Can we go 66.22. Used to be a resistance, now it become a support line for oil. Now, for the last 2 days, it might be a good signal for oil because oil is making higher highs. That can show that market can gain some confidence back, and we can see some buyers getting back in the market.
Say it again.
Like somebody from Germany from the I think there's 1 year target for oil to break 100.
Good one, but you have to remember there is countries that cost them too much to produce oil. Once it reaches $100, these countries will start producing, such as Canada, for example. It costs them $90 to produce oil. Yes. Do that, so they have the oil price to be over $90, so they can gain. So that's the major thing about oil now. Every time market moves up, you can see some countries start producing more, so they can make more profit, and that can bring oil back down because oil is built all on supply. The major thing that can move market only supply on it. So once we have oversupply, market goes down. Once we have low supply, market just move in good direction. As a matter, it's very exciting market for daily trading. I'll say it's just stay above the trend line unless we have the data tomorrow from the US inventory, which we know about US at the moment. Every time they see there is high oil prices, they start to take advantage of that to make extra pocket money.
I've been for oil for probably since $55.
When the minute it pops,
And I this is time. Very good time. Cool. So, thanks everybody for coming. Sorry about the sound. We're gonna fix our microphone and get back to you and do this. So, thanks a lot for coming and later.
Au revoir.